Huh. Huh. That's kind of cool. I wonder how they have this set up here. So we have 2, then a spear, then 3, then more spears, then the last of the spears back here. I don't like it. I'm sure that's probably actually a good way to... That might be a good way to set them up, but I don't like it. So what we're going to do, we're going to set you up here. Maybe back a little bit. Yeah, here. Rapid volley, toggle ranked fire, and kneel fire. I wonder if they're gonna adopt that when I start playing. But no, so ranked fire, I didn't notice them. I didn't see that it said that it could do that. But what ranked fire does is that it's an ability that, let's see, forms you into rank form, front to rear, each rank kneeling to reload, and allowing those behind to clear. So it's a way of firing that Napoleon really used a lot, and I believe the Oda, like actually Oda Nobunaga himself came up with this as well, where because of how like these work, you know, these old muskets where you had to muzzle load them from, you know, you loaded them from the hole at the top there, is that the first row of them would fire, and then they'd kneel. And while they were putting a new bullet in and everything, the next row would fire, and then they would kneel. While they were putting a new bullet in and everything, the next row, and then the next row, and then the next row, until the last row fires. And by the time the last row fires, the first row should be ready to fire again, so they could stand up and fire again. And then the next row after that, by that time, should be done, and they stand up and fire, and then they stand up and fire, and it creates kind of like a little wave of like fire, 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 like that. And it became like the effect that had would be like the effect that our modern rifles of being on semi-automatic and just bang, 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 you know? Anyways, I think I might be getting a little too into that. Let's see. Then we have you here. Oh, and then toggle. Toggle skirmish mode. And then we put the Yari Samurai behind. And we put 2 Onabushi here, or well, here. 2 Onabushi here. 1 Onabushi back here. And our general back here. And start. This isn't gonna... Nothing's really gonna happen. So I'm kind of bummed that these guys aren't, like, actually kneeling or anything. Though, then again, I don't really get why I'm guessing it has to do with the mod pack, but I don't really get why there's both a kneel fire and a ranked fire, because kneel fire does more or less what ranked fire does, which was these guys kneel, and then these guys stand, and then they could fire at the same time, which was like the prototype technique to the ranked fire. Let's see. Just a little cinematic camera action here, just going up the hill at my enemies as they try and crest. Clicks that little red thing stuff goes away. We going up the hill, looking at the sun. As we crest, the enemy should more or less be there. Yeah. Yep. Here they are. The light cavalry. Okay. I was about to say Yari cavalry, but no. They're light cavalry with Naginata samurai. And more Naginata samurai. And then more light cavalry. Okay. So let's see. Kind of. Okay, let's speed this up a little bit. Like, I guess I'll show you guys this fight. Okay.
Our hidden units have been discovered, my lord.
Okay. Wait a minute. Yari. Fucking cavalry, man. ruining my goddamn, Oh, you. Hey, you. Come over here. Come over here. Come over. Why won't you move? Can I get any of you guys to move? Yeah, I can get you guys to move. Take you and you. Now you guys out here. Why would you guys not move? Oh, is it because of the Neophyte thing? I bet you anything that has to do with Neophyte. Yeah. You need to come around this way. No, back here first. Don't swing into the enemy. There's number 4. There's number 4. Go here. Go here. And toggle that. Start firing into the back of the enemy. I want to see more firing. Ugh. It's so chaotic. I kind of like it though. Though I'm sure I'm firing into my own men, and that's probably killing my own men as well. So I'm fairly certain that happens. Anyway, so like I said, not worth saving a replay, and probably get vast quantities of that cut out just because, or parts of that cut out because, well, whatever. But anyway, so depending on how much I cut, we'll just give it a little bit of a welcome back. That fight was sort of pointless. I just wanted to see what the gun samurai were sort of made of. We'll find out. Well, you already kind of saw it, but we'll see how they do in an actual fight later. And it looks like they'd be good because they're only 27, I think. So it looks like they'd be good to defend. To be like a defensive army, anyway. Oh, that reminds me, not the disease thing, but I'm just reminded that I should get more agents. C plus C repression in this province. Okay. Yeah, I need to get more legendary building. Hitachi. Where's Hitachi? Oh. Our allies created a legendary Batsu field. Whatever the fuck that is. Let me guess. That has to do with... Yep, legendary Batsu school. Legendary Kyudo school, huh? Is that what was up here in North Shinano? That's the Bowmaster Dojo. Huh. Anyway. Gotta keep this war machine rolling. The Iko-Iki want peace. And the thing is that I will accept that offer. I have bigger fish to fry now. Especially because the Iko-Iki only have the one province, and Susui has the province I want next of South Shinano. As I move my unstoppable horde westward. Okay, so the black ship. The black ship is the best ship in this game, and you can't build it. You have to capture it. But it is a mighty European trade ship with lots of cannons on it and shit. So if you have a big navy with like lots of good ships, you can go after it, you can defeat it, and you'll get it for yourself. I don't know if there's multiple of them. Like if you capture one, another one will show up, but like it shows up fairly regularly And so I just assume that there's multiple of them. Yeah, so back to the grind. See you guys, and there's something worth showing. It's really funny. Oh.
Consider this.
I'm going to break my trade agreement with the Satomi, and they'll give me a peace treaty. And the answer to that will be no. Are you at war with the Satomi? Is that... No, you just don't like me trading with the Satomi for some reason. No, that's not happening. I need them to be on as good terms as possible for my inevitable betrayal, because, you know, I want to rank on that list of top 10 anime betrayals. So, anyways. No, what was I about to say? Oh, the thing I just kind of realized was that the part of this game which is the most interesting for other people to watch, I think, is the battles. And they're the hardest for me to... like, comment on. If that makes sense. What was the fuck? The Stuff of Legends. Achieve Excellence. Okay, construct the following building. Arsenal. Okay. Large proving grounds. Where the fuck is the arsenal? Is that... Oh, it's you. Sure, I'll just save up for it. Do I want to, though? No, because I want to get ready. Okay, no, that's not going to happen. So, okay. Wrong one. You. Or no, I'm waiting on that. It'll be 3 turns until I can do that. Well, I need the 5 fire-projecting mangonels, though. Okay, so... kind of, because I kind of got distracted there for a second. I was just mentioning that the battles are the things I'm the worst at commenting while I'm doing it, but at the same time, with the way I do this game, I don't do a whole lot of battles. I'm like noticing. So I think maybe in future playthroughs I'll have to try and challenge myself. Maybe keep the number of armies I have lower down, so that I actually am prompted and I actually have to fight more armies. Or I actually have to fight more battles on the field. Which reminds me, I think I might have... Yep, I have 2 generals sitting down here. There are armies for them to go to? Yeah, there are actually armies over here for them to go to. Satomi's not my allies anymore? Weird. Hold on. Diplomacy. Oh, the Satomi aren't my allies anymore. That's... when did that happen? Well, the Satomi aren't my allies anymore. So... I'm gonna have to create the defensive army a little bit faster. This series has just got a little bit longer. So I was hoping if I could keep them my allies for longer. Though I am now kind of, oh my god, they incited a rebellion in Hida. Oh my god. Yeah, that's right. Alright, so I wanted more battles, so here's more battles. So this is the Battle of Takayama. I'll be saving the replay for this because this looks like a battle worth watching. So take it away, Future Jack. Alright, thank you, Past Jack. So as you can see here, we're seeing a little bit more than I was necessarily able to see because I feel like this looked slightly differently. Now, for setting up, I decided to go a little bit safe. I put one of the Bowashigawa garrison on... I put the Bowashigawa garrison on either side, spreading them out a little bit. Because I didn't know, setting up, where the enemy was going to be coming from. And then, of course, I have my people on the central platform. And I'm not entirely sure why the music just stopped. But we also have these 4 bomb throwers, which I've set up here. And they will, in fact, be doing more damage to the castle, just on their own, than the enemy will be doing to the castle. Sorry, I'm kind of going nuts with the camera. But the basic idea here is to get each of our directions covered, so that we have, in case they came from the excuse me, in case they came from the west, we had bows in place. In case they came from the east, which they did, we have a bow in place. Actually, matter of fact, we have 1 bow in place because we had moved the other one up here just in case they came from this direction, because they seem to like coming from the south, and I'm not entirely sure why. But then we have, of course, the rest of the bowmen and the melee people up here ready to stand by to start up. So we see with them that their main force is in fact coming up from the south, and that their other force is coming in from the east. And I just looking at the thing, I just realized that my guys are colored red. I wonder if that has to do with who the attacker is. Anyways, so I had initially moved this Ashigaru, these bow Ashigaru, over so that they would be more, we'll speed this up a little bit, so that they would be more ready to present and begin firing down this way, and of course activating the archery tower's flame arrows just for a little extra damage going into that. Now we'll be back to these guys in a second, because the spears more or less immediately begin climbing the wall, prompting me to move over not only my own spears but my another set of bow Ashigaru. Then along over here I am in fact moving all of the bow Ashigaru, because this is going faster this way, not because just because I have it on speed, but because I also, you know, during battle you pause it to set things up. So over here the enemy is, let's bring this back to regular speed. The enemy is now engaging the wall, and in a moment we're going to see these bomb throwers begin just chucking their explosives down. I've moved the farther away, the non-engaged bow and arrow, and there it goes. I love that sound. Not entirely sure why, but move the non-engaged. Yes, thank you. I moved the non-engaged arrows over so that they could get more into combat. Now, usually I would in fact pull these bowmen off the wall once the enemy melee, in this case the enemy spears, would got to it and started climbing up. But since they're garrison, I honestly don't really care. Then of course over here we have the bombs wrecking merry havoc on this wall here. Though I do in fact need to I begin by moving the bow Ashigaru over, and let's see. Yeah, I begin moving them over because the enemy is coming up this direction. So there's not a whole lot I can do here. So I begin bounding the bombs over, because the bombs have a much shorter range than the bowmen. And then of course over here we have a unit of spears getting close, enemy unit of spears getting close to shattering and routing, as the bowmen just kind of hold them in place while the regular bow Ashigaru stand by and just layer arrows into them. Then of course over here we have, yes, I moved this bow Ashigaru unit over here so it had better range of arc of fire, and of course bomb throwers chucking bombs down.
Our men are running from the battlefield. Shameful display.
Yes, it was about this point that I noticed that these garrison bowmen are routing, but it doesn't really matter because in a siege they will simply come up here. I think around this point is also about the time that I start noticing that the bomb throwers are about to be engaged in melee, which I would rather them not be, because it's not that they're an expensive unit, they're just a really effective unit for routing. And so I pulled them back, and eventually I'm going to remember that I have other melee to sort of get into the way to speed bump. Because right now, usually I would have moved some melee in response, and I can't remember where I just sent these bowmen. I think that those bowmen may be these bowmen, but I'm not entirely sure. Or they're those. I don't remember. I lost track of it. There's no like forward and backwards for this replay, so. Oh yeah, I think this is why I didn't put in any melee to start with, because I just lined up my bombs and just let them kind of go to town with the people coming over the wall, just doing some sort of morale damage, I guess is what it's called. Yeah, and here we go. I've remembered the melee and I'm bringing them in. Not only that, but bringing in the bowmen, the bow that were over here in, so that they would have a better chance, and of course adjusting these bow ashigaru in so that they could fire in. Let's see. Not a whole lot going on here, so let's just speed this up a little bit. It's pretty self-explanatory, or pretty self-evident what's going on here. I begin moving out my bowmen. I can't remember exactly why, and it seems that they've stopped. But I can't remember exactly why I did this, but I believe it was just to get another firing angle on the invaders here. And of course, at this point, I also move one of my some of my melee down, and they're just going to charge down and around to meet, to block or to help protect these bow ashigaru, and to attack into the enemy. Speed this up a little bit. There's not a whole lot going on here, except just sort of merry havoc with these bombs over here, which I don't know, I just really love the bombs. Like, they're kind of useless in attacking the walls, because walking them up, they just sort of get attacked by everything on the walls. But, like in this situation, they just ended up doing really, really well. And thus, decisive victory. And yes, that'll be it. So, I'll leave you guys and send you guys back to the past, where I am currently going to be dealing with the... Well, there were no repercussions to this battle, but I'll be dealing with what happens next. So, see you guys in the next replay.